intercepted. Jahmyr Gibbs, touchdown Detroit. And the Lions go for it. The Vikings bring a heat. The pass is a touchdown to Gibbs. Gibbs left. Jahmyr Gibbs accelerates into the end zone. He's got the hat trick. And first and goal. And the inside run for Gibbs, still going to the goal line. Number 4 on the night. A night to remember.
Elbow, forearm, he's going to be down.
The result of the play is a touchdown.
And the flag that was thrown on this was picked up.
I don't know, did it get the face mask?
Only do that if you're telling the official you're reporting.
The Lions hangover.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Brad. You are listening to the Detroit Lions Hangover Podcast. What a night. Oh, what a night. All right. Let's see. Before we break into this fantastic victory, let's take care of the goofy business. Please remember to find and follow me on the social medias, X, Facebook, Instagram. Boom. There we go. Please subscribe to the show, follow along, plus sign, heart sign, whatever you got to do, thumbs up. Subscribe to the show. And if you wouldn't mind giving this show 5 stars, I greatly appreciate it. I didn't mean to say it like that. I just had a little bit of indigestion. Gas, hiccup, whatever it is. It just, but it worked out okay. Lions, back-to-back NFC North champions. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, they defeat the Vikings 31-9. It's the most wins in franchise history with 15-2. Your Detroit Lions are 15-2. Never, ever. I don't think anybody would have guessed this at the beginning of the year. They get the first round bye, the very important first round bye. They're going to look like a different team when they come back, man. They're going to look like a different team. Montgomery should be back. I feel pretty confident that Carlton Davis the third will be back. If not, he'll be back for the conference championship. I feel pretty good about that. Hopefully, Terrion Arnold is going to be okay. He suffered a little bit of an ankle injury. It looked like his ankle, and hopefully, did Zeitler come back after a hamstring injury? I don't know if he came back, but hopefully he'll be okay. This first round bye, this is huge. It is huge. Lions, what a game. What's the story here? Defense is the story. Jahmyr Gibbs with his 4 touchdown performance. It was amazing. The Lions' defensive pressure on Sam Darnold was amazing, okay? Even if they didn't get like 15 sacks, I feel like they made life for Sam Darnold very uncomfortable today. I thought Amik Robertson played phenomenal against Justin Jefferson. He shut him down. He was basically non-existent. Anzalone returns today. I wasn't sure if he was going to get to do that. I thought he played great. It looked like he had a lot of energy, a lot of speed. You could tell his legs were rested, and he's even going to feel hopefully a little bit better after that bye week too. This bye week is so huge. I'm excited. I've never been excited for a bye week before. I'm so excited for this bye week. Hopefully they stay sharp. I always worry about that momentum loss, but I mean, it depends on who they get matched up against in that divisional round. This is just so much to talk about. I thought St. Brown had a good game. J-Mo was probably a little off today. I expected more from J-Mo. He missed that deep throw. It's like he let off the gas a little bit. I don't know if he lost the ball in the lights or if he just never saw it to begin with. That ended up being an interception from Goff. Goff played a very confusing game. I want to say it was a poor game by Goff, but at the same time, I thought the Vikings defense earned those plays. I mean, they weren't necessarily bad decisions, as they were that they were just in the right place at the right time, sort of a thing. I do think Goff got Gibbs almost killed with that one screen pass. Yeah, but Gibbs, hell of a day for Gibbs. I think he had about 170 yards from total offense today. We'll get to his stats in just a few minutes. And I thought Craig Reynolds played great when he was subbing in for Gibbs. I thought the offensive line kind of played like garbage the first half of the game, maybe specifically Sewell. But I still feel like, halfway through that third quarter, the Lions started playing Lions football. I feel like the Lions felt like they had it in the middle of the third quarter or at least it seemed like Minnesota maybe gave up. I don't know what's going on. But, too bad for the Vikings because now they're off to play the Los Angeles Rams. Of course, the Commanders are going to be matched up against the Bucs. And the Packers, who lost Jordan Love today, I don't know how serious his injury is. I think the Packers lost Jordan Love and somebody else. Anyway, the Packers are going to travel to Philadelphia and play the Eagles. So the Lions will play the lowest seed. Hopefully, it very well could be the Vikings again. We could be seeing a three-peat, and hey, bring it on. Bring it on. I'll play the Vikings again. Although, just for my preference, I'd rather see I'd rather see the Commanders or even the Rams too, but I don't think the Rams will be the lowest seed at 3. Man, what a game. What a game. I was nervous. I was stressed the first quarter and a half for sure anyway. Then the Lions started to pull it out a little bit. With each Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown, you just felt a little bit better and better. And honestly, with each time the Vikings had the ball, the defense gave me some confidence too. The defense was amazing. Give it up for the defense today. Detroit's defense came to play, despite all of the injuries that they had. And I'm sure they were tired of hearing that, how their defense wasn't as good as the Vikings and all that stuff. But the defense, they played phenomenal. The defense was amazing. The defensive line, I thought Jack Campbell had a hell of a game. He was everywhere on the field. I thought he did great. Him and Anzalone looked good. I know they left the play calling, not the play calling, but they left the green dot. Campbell was getting all the plays in from the headpiece from Aaron Glenn. I think that's a huge sign too. A little bit of a passing of the torch sort of a thing. Yeah, holy cow, that defensive backfield. Amik Robertson, this is, I've been wishy-washy all year on him, but he won me over tonight. I wasn't sure about him. I saw some blown coverages throughout the season. I know everybody has a bad game here or there, but just overall, I felt like of the free agents, he was kind of the one that wasn't stepping up for what I would like to see all season long. He changed my mind. He was amazing. I thought Brian Branch had a good game. I thought Kirby Joseph had a good game, but they were like the backups if things got out of hand, like they came and made the tackle. I thought Branch had a couple big hits, though. Lions defense, though, that's what keeps sticking in my head. Jared Goff, though, let's talk about him real quick. He's the second quarterback in NFL history with 15 wins and 4,000 yards in a season. Isn't that something, man? And Jahmyr Gibbs, we could talk about him. He with his 4 touchdowns. What is that? 21 touchdowns on the season, I think. And that led the NFL this year, and it's a single season franchise record as well. So that Jamal Williams record from a couple years ago, that's gone now. So and let's talk about Gibbs for a second too. He finished. He was 7th coming into this game. I'm not exactly sure where he finished. We'll talk about that in a week or two before their next game. If it wasn't for Montgomery, if Gibbs was our only running back, he's just as good as Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry. There's no doubt in my mind this guy would be looking at 2,000 yards or more, And I love Montgomery. Montgomery's an important piece of the puzzle. I'm not trying to discredit anything he's doing. Montgomery's my dude. He's on my fantasy team. I drafted him. I love him. He's amazing. And I think if it was just the Montgomery show, I think Montgomery would be doing, almost as good. I don't want to say better. You can just tell Gibbs is just slightly better. He's faster. He's a bit more agile, where Montgomery's kind of like the power running guy. But there's no doubt in my mind Gibbs would be running for 2,000 yards this season, and who knows, maybe one day he will. I think he finished with around 1,500 or 1,600 yards on the year, so maybe that's good enough for like fourth or something like that. We'll have to take a look as soon as all the stats are updated. But yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs, he had 170 yards of total offense and 4 touchdowns today. So that's amazing. That is freaking amazing. So, but it's important to have Montgomery there because he helps Gibbs not take a beating every single game. And it's important for Gibbs to be there because he helps Montgomery not take a beating every single game. But if you combine them into one running back, I'm pretty sure they would be over 2,000 yards. If they combine their powers as one running back, if they were one person, they're over 2,000 yards. Because, Montgomery had like 700 or 800 yards, didn't he? And Gibbs is right around 1,500 or 1,600 yards after today. So Detroit, though, they had the second most offensive touchdowns in a season in NFL history with 64. Isn't that something, kids? Isn't that amazing? What a fun year of football. A fun year of football. Oh, so even I predicted the Lions to go 14-3. We've talked about this. 14-3. And I was like, that is ridiculous. Let's call it 13-4. There's going to be an extra loss in there somewhere. 13-4. And I felt confident that that was going to be good enough to win the division. Little did I know that Minnesota would surprise everybody. It would put pressure on the Lions to keep winning, and the Lions rose to the occasion. 15 wins, man, 15. And Vikings are no slouch. We just got the better of them today. And hopefully we get the better of them if we have to play them again this season. But, 14 wins, that would be impressive. And if the Lions lost today, I would be happy with 14 wins as well. It would suck that we'd be going on the road, but I would definitely be happy with 14. You would have a hard time saying that this was not a good season with 14 wins. So, first time in franchise history that the Lions are the number 1 seed. That is ridiculous. First time ever that the Lions are the number 1 seed. We are on the verge of something historic for our franchise. This is amazing. This is so awesome. I cannot wait for the playoffs to begin. I probably won't be watching too much next week. When it's not the Lions, I don't care. It's not my problem, baby. Not my problem. But I will be keeping an eye on, who we're going to play, that sort of thing. And, when it's time, we get a week off. You guys get a week off from me. I'm not going to be doing a show next week. I don't have a show to do. So that's exciting too. Hey, we all get a week off. Man, whew. I feel I got butterflies in my stomach, All right, let's get into some stats here. I've already voiced my opinion on everything. Let's get into some stats. All right, as we talked about, Jahmyr Gibbs got things going with a 25-yard rush. That made it 7-0. Minnesota answers with a field goal. That makes it 3-7 in favor of the Lions. Minnesota answers with a second field goal. That makes it 6-7, still in favor of the Lions. Just before halftime, Jake Bates kicks a 48-yard field goal, securing our lead to a 10-6 going into halftime. Lions defense steps up after the halftime. This is when I really feel like we just took over because there were so many red zone opportunities for the Vikings, and the defense just came up huge, just huge. Anyway, they left it for Minnesota to kick another field goal. Will Reichard, he kicked a 51-yarder, 10-9 Lions, and then it's all Jahmyr Gibbs from here on out. He gets a 10-yard pass from Jared Goff, 17-9 Lions, and then he has a 13-yard run, 24-9 Lions, and then he gets a 4-yard run, 31-9 Lions. So that's the scoring stat. Let's get to the box score here. Let's talk about the bad guys first. Sam Darnold, who was very uncomfortable all day, 18 of 41, 166 yards, sacked only twice for a loss of 24 yards. He had a quarterback rating of 55.5. Cam Akers, who I thought played really well, 6 carries for 65 yards Aaron Jones, 10 carries for 45 yards. Sam Darnold had 3 rushes for 10 yards. Justin Jefferson, I should play crickets here, 3 receptions. I think there was only 1 reception in the second half because I think he had 2 for 37 in the first half. 3 receptions for only 54 yards. Jalen Naylor, who probably had the biggest game, only had 3 catches for 53 yards, so just 1 yard less than Justin Jefferson, but I feel like Jalen Naylor had more opportunities than Justin Jefferson. Aaron Jones had 5 catches for 30 yards. Josh Oliver, 2 catches, 16. TJ Hawkinson, another game where he has not made us regret trading him. He only had 2 catches for 9 yards. Cam Akers, 2 catches for 4. And Jordan Addison left off the sheet. He did have 1 catch, but there were no yards there. Okay, let's do their top 5 tacklers. Ivan Pace Jr., 10 tackles. 1 tackle for loss. Blake Cashman, 8 tackles, 5 solo. Cameron Bynum, 7 tackles, 7 solo. Byron Murphy, 7 tackles, 5 solo. And Andrew Van Ginkel, what a name. And, man, he's the one that put that huge hit on Gibbs there after Goff set him up. Now, Jonathan Greenard, he had a sack, and Jonathan Bullard, he had a sack. The Vikings only had 2 sacks for today. Will Reichard, he was 3 for 4. He did miss that one, but it would not have mattered. His longest was 51 yards. No touchdowns today, kids. No touchdowns. I don't even think I realized that they only scored field goals. Detroit's attendance today was 64,774 people walked through the doors of Ford Field. Now let's talk about the good guys. Jared Goff, 27 of 33, only missed 6 passes for 231 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 2 sacks. He finished with a quarterback rating of 80.7. Jahmyr Gibbs ran the ball 23 times for 139 yards, 3 touchdowns rushing. Craig Reynolds, 8 carries for 39 yards. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 6 catches for 77 yards. Sam Laporta, he had a good game, man. I was really happy with Sam Laporta. 7 catches for 63 yards. You got J-Mo with 6 catches for 34 yards. I honestly didn't think he caught the ball 6 times, but good for him. I thought he was going to catch the ball 6 times going into it, but I expected more than just 34 yards. But he did miss that deep throw. I don't know what happened there, if he just lost the ball or what was going on. Jahmyr Gibbs, 5 catches for 31 yards and 1 receiving touchdown. Tim Patrick, 2 catches, 15 yards. Khalif Raymond, good to see him back, 1 catch for 11 yards. All right, let's get to our top 5 tacklers. Alex Anzalone led the team in tackles, 7 total, 3 solo. 1 pass defended and 1 quarterback hit, by the way, too. Kirby Joseph had 6 tackles, 4 solo. Brian Branch, 6 tackles, 3 solo. Jack Campbell, 6 tackles, 2 solo. Amik Robertson, 5 tackles, 4 solo. Now let's get to the sacks, guys. Al-Quadin Muhammad, he had a fantastic sack, but it's like he forgot to take the dude down to the ground, so there were 3 other dudes that helped him out, take Sam Darnold to the ground. And then Zadarius Smith also had his sack. It's good that he has at least 1 sack against the Packers and 1 sack against the Vikings, but can we get a little bit more? Can we get 2 sacks in a game? I just feel like after he gets his sack, he kind of disappears. Now, I like him, and I expect more from him, especially in a game like the Super Bowl when Aiden Hutchinson shows up. So that will really be his time to shine. Jake Bates was 1 for 1 with his 48-yard field goal. Jack Fox got some time in today. He punted the ball twice for 102 yards, 51 average, longest being 56. Let's talk about some team stats. You guys want some team stats? Let's get sexier with that voice. Some team stats, baby. You want some team stats? All right. Vikings had 14 first downs. Detroit Lions had 24. What do you think of that? Vikings had 62 plays. Lions had 66. Vikings only had 262 yards of offense, where the Lions had 394. Both had 11 drives. Not too shabby, man. Rushing, all right, we got all that stuff. Red zone. This is probably the hidden story of the game. Red zone's 0 for 4. The Vikings were 0 for 4 in the red zone. And flip that around, Detroit 3 for 3, baby. Now, penalties, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about these penalties. The Vikings had 6 penalties for 30 yards. Lions had 8 penalties for 49 yards. I don't think they were horseshit calls by any means. I don't know. I could have done without the penalties they did call. Like, it could have gone either way. I see why they called them, but at the same time, that stuff happens every game, man. I didn't see anything too egregious other than the offsides or false starts, that sort of stuff. Possession. The Vikings had the ball for 23 minutes, 48 seconds, and that, of course, means the Lions had the ball for 36 minutes, 12 seconds. That's what happens when you dominate the game of running. Oh, man. Did you guys get all that? If not, just listen to this episode twice because I appreciate that too. Overall, who's upset with this? What do we need to improve on? Maybe our offensive line. They definitely didn't play a full 60 minutes of football, but they didn't do anything too horrible either. I mean, Gibbs had a fantastic day, and that doesn't happen without some blocking, Goff didn't have a horrible day, and that he can't do that without some pass blocking. So while there was probably room for improvement with the blocking today, the offensive line, I'm surely not too upset with them. Defensive line, I thought they played great. We've talked about it, man. They had enough pressure. There's really not there's not too much room for improvement. But this doesn't feel like a perfect game either. Maybe a little bit better decision-making from Goff. Maybe. I mean, I know he only missed 6 passes, but those 2 interceptions, are they really his fault? Like one was tipped. The other one was an overthrown ball, but you could blame J-Mo. So you really can't say Goff had too much. I just feel like everybody stepped up. When you look at this game, everybody stepped up. Gibbs had an amazing, he did what he needed to do. St. Brown caught everything that came his way. Laporta caught everything that came his way. Tim Patrick, I thought he did good. Didn't understand why he fell down. That always drives me nuts when guys catch the ball and they just trip over their own feet like they forgot how to run. Yeah, that one just drives me nuts. Not much else to say, I don't think. What a fantastic game. What a fantastic day. Bye week for the Lions. Bye week for us, guys. Bye week for us. All right, so let's wrap this up then. I just can't imagine what else to talk about. We don't know who we're playing against, so we just have to sort of wait it out. But trust me, I will be back with another preview episode of the divisional round, round 2 of the NFC playoffs, NFL playoffs, NFC conference. You guys know where I'm getting at. I'm just trying to make snow out of thin air here. I don't even know what that means. All right, I'm probably too tired. I need to go. Wow. I just saw that the Broncos beat the Chiefs 38-0. I knew they won. I didn't realize that. Okay, that's it for me. Too bad, Cincinnati Bengals. I know you needed the Chiefs to win. Okay, let's get out of here. Thanks. This has been an amazing season. Thanks for listening, guys. It's not over for us yet. I will be back. We have at least 3 more games to go. Minimum 1 game, maximum 3 more games. 6 episodes are left, or 6 episodes or less before we wrap this baby up. So that's it. I will be back soon with another episode of Lions Hangover Podcast. Thank you for listening. Please rate, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. You want me to say it? I'll say it. All right. Smash that like button. All right. That was obnoxious. I swear I'm never doing that again. All right. You guys have a good one.